Hi. What's up?
Sleeping on the couch at
Yeah.
noon on a Saturday. What the fuck?
I fell asleep.
Lazy.
There's nothing wrong with that. On a weekend, best.
Nah, there's a laziness that's tied to that. Only
Yeah.
bums. Life is meant to be productive.
Yeah. I'm not doing a very good job.
You think you're a cat, just there to exist?
Yeah.
Being
Yeah,
being
basically.
being a human being means doing things, creating things, accomplishing things. And
It's
if you
the
do,
only way to feel like I've done something
yeah, if you don't do
is to
that,
do it.
you're a waste.
Yeah.
A waste
Yeah.
of space, a waste of breath, a waste of consciousness, a waste of time. There's a finite number of consciousness.
Consciousnesses?
Yeah. And
How do you pluralize consciousness?
there's a finite number, I think, that it exists in the reserve tank somewhere in the universe. And when it's out, it's out. So some people
Yeah.
who get the luck of the draw and get assigned a consciousness. A consciousness. It
Conscience.
does, yeah, it's a weird word.
Yeah.
If you're one of the lucky few that gets the assignment, you got to make use of it because there's some other ball of energy out there that wanted to be able to be inserted into a bag of bones to experience life, and they would have done so much. And they look on
Yeah.
you and they see you sprawled out on a used couch
Under a heated blanket.
with it's not even that cold.
I know, but the heated blanket feels so good.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't. I've never had a heated blanket before. Oh, I love it so much.
You don't use heat in your apartment either. I forgot.
No, I do. It's at 70 right now.
No, that's pretty high.
Yeah, I usually keep it at 68, but this season I've put it at 70. I don't know why.
You're splurging. You have that extra money. You have that yacht club money.
Yeah, give me that yacht club money.
So it's okay to be warm and comfortable. The 70 can get hot. It also, oh, I mean, I'm speaking of first world problems since I have multiple floors. I was going to say the
Yeah.
heat's different amongst the different floors.
Is it hotter upstairs?
No, surprisingly, no.
What?
In the summer, yes, but in the winter, I guess it's drafty and with the higher ceiling. If you went up to the ceiling, that's what it is. It's a higher ceiling, so
Ah,
the heat is up there, and it's a little cooler. And then if you
okay.
go downstairs to the other apartment, since our thermostat controls the heat in there too, I think it has lower ceilings and it gets really hot. And then I get texts that say it's burning up down here, and then meanwhile I say it's freezing up here, and then you have to deal with that. But anyway, some sperm egg combination out there is very disappointed.
Fuck. Welcome to One Topic, where we stick to one topic. My name is Autumn Fisher.
My name is Greg Russ. Have you thought about changing that opening where we
Uh,
stick to one topic? It's a bit misleading.
yeah, maybe I should.
And if somebody really wanted to get nasty about it, they could press charges for false advertisement. Not that we're selling a product, so it probably wouldn't hold up in court because what was taken from them? Maybe their time, which is the most precious commodity of them all.
Yeah, pain and suffering. They were listening for so long, waiting for us to stick to one topic, and we never did.
We never got to that one topic, or we did get to it, but then we talked about an array of topics.
Welcome to One Topic, where we typically don't stick to one topic.
Well, I mean, I think this week's topic is going to be the long-awaited. Autumn has gotten herself a Nintendo Switch, which was advertised in a title of a previous show from a couple weeks ago. But then we talked about God knows what.
I don't even remember what that one was about.
And then I had to do the show alone last week.
Ugh,
Which,
I'm sorry. I thought I was going to be doing the show alone. And then you texted me like, no, I recorded something. I was like, oh, okay.
as I was recording it, I got your text that said, "Hey, want to do something?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm doing this already.
Got it.
This is already almost done. My 30 minutes alone, which is hard to do. 30 minutes, and I don't like I think back to what I talked about. That certainly wasn't one topic. That just becomes a rambling monologue, which I guess is the basis of the idea of doing the podcast, where I wake up at 2:33 a.m. and just talk about whatever's on my mind. So it did just kind of acts as a fill-in, doesn't fit the format.
Well, what are we going to talk about today?
I told you,
Switch?
yeah, you're very excited about the fact you bought a Nintendo Switch, which I think perfectly fits your life of being a lazy slob.
What the fuck?
The fact that we were supposed to start recording at noon, and I texted you, and you said, "Oh, I fell asleep on the couch."
I set an alarm for 11:50, and the alarm went off, and I told it to stop, and then I just closed my eyes.
You went to sleep last night. You got a lot of sleep. You woke up at what time?
I didn't get a lot of sleep. I was up until like 1, and then I was up at 8.
No, so was I. Well, actually 8:30, but I didn't go to sleep until 2.
Woo!
2, woke up at 8. You know what I did this morning? I
What?
didn't sleep on the couch, I'll tell you that.
Oh man, what'd you do? Build a bridge?
No, actually, I give you a hard time because I am lazy as fuck. I don't want to do anything. I just sat there. It's crazy when you realize you woke up and then you've been sitting in the same spot for hours, like staring at your phone, watching shows about New York City. I mean, I hate admitting this. I hate this. You know that you see them online, Cheddar News.
Cheddar?
Yeah, like the cheese.
Yeah. Are you saying it weird on purpose, or is that how it's supposed to be?
That's how I like to pronounce it.
Okay.
Cheddar.
I've never heard of Cheddar News.
They stole the Now This News style,
Okay.
which is nothing to brag about. It's Now This News was, here's the news in 30-second bites with text only, where we highlight specific words so you know what's important. Like
Okay.
you're not getting in depth with anything. And Cheddar stole that style online, but apparently they've branched out and they have a whole fucking TV network,
Oh.
which the advertising is mostly promos for their other shows and content. So that means there's not much money coming in, not much ad revenue, considering they're self-promoting. But I don't know, they have a morning show during the week where there's some host that seems insufferable that I would lose my mind if I had to listen to him speak for more than 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But he's there and he gets paid something. I'm sure it's maybe not a lot. But anyway, they have this series of shows about just things in New York City. It's like one of these episodes was about rats, and another was about waste and where it goes when you flush your poop.
Oh
And
God. Doesn't it go to a water treatment plant?
yeah, but like specifically here in New York, and like a woman was on there complaining about all the things people flush down the toilet and saying there should only be 4 things: poop, pee, toilet paper, and I give vomit. I'll say vomit's okay, but outside of that, nothing else. And then they show footage of all the other stuff people flush
I mean,
down
that's
the
kind
toilet.
of true.
It
Don't
is
you
true.
agree with that?
I do agree with that, but then they show the grates that catch all the other stuff, and then the woman sifting through it.
Ew.
Flushable wipe. These are not flushable. Don't believe what the package says. Feminine hygiene products, condoms. She's just digging through it with a
Ew.
gloved hand.
Nasty.
You got to do something. You can't
She's
let
like
it.
an advocate for water for toilets.
She really loved her job. She worked
Cooling
at the
system?
treatment plant. She really was into her job.
Oh my God. Can you imagine how insufferable she is at dinner? Like telling you all about the shit she found and how like these people just won't stop. And I got you won't believe what I found in the grate that catches the sewer water.
Hey, I'm glad that there's somebody out there who enjoys what they do. I understand what you're saying, where the conversation's maybe just like, all right, I've heard it. Just stop. I don't want to hear it anymore.
Obsessed.
Yeah, she's obsessed. The rat one was weird. The rat episode featured, I mean, they were going through the different ways to try to control the rat population in New York, but there's a group of dudes who have trained their dogs to just tear rats apart.
Oh,
And they just go out and they hunt rats. And then they lay them out at the end. Like, tonight we got 23 rats, and one of them was ripped completely in half because 2 dogs were fighting over it.
what is their motivation?
I don't
to kill.
I think because even the whole public service part of it, where you could spin it that way. They're not
Right.
killing enough rats to really make a difference. So I would argue against what they're doing. It's like it's not really effective. Sure, okay, you're trying to lower the population, but 23 rats a night, it's not gonna
Yeah.
it's not gonna do much. But they don't even really try to push it that way themselves. They just go out together and they go to like dumpsters, and then one of the guys picks up his dog and throws the dog into the dumpster. So it flushes the rats out, and then the other dogs catch the rats and
Aw.
they just shake them.
See, listen, I feel like if there are rats, if you have a rat in your home or a vermin or whatever in your home, I understand needing to get rid of that pest. But when they're just existing in the world outside, even if it's in a dumpster and not like in the woods or something, what's it to you? Leave them alone.
No,
They have their own society, like
They
they're doing
carry
their own
disease.
thing.
They carry disease.
So do we.
They carry poison because they eat the poison. That's what I'm thinking about the dogs. So the rats,
Oh yeah.
rats eat the poison, then the dogs are tearing them apart. Though apparently those poison boxes don't even work that well because these rats are pretty smart. And when something new is introduced into their environment, they look at it and like, what the fuck's this? They're not really
See what I mean?
drawn to a new plastic box with a weird smell coming from it.
So that's what I mean. Like they have their own uh environment. Let them live. Let them do their thing. If they come into your space, all right, I understand.
I mean,
But
look, they're getting into engines, car engines, nesting, chewing through wires.
yeah, but you're keeping your vehicle out in their backyard.
Yeah, but there's a crossover right there. So I
Well,
think
then it's part of sharing the space. They have to deal with possibly being cooked alive inside of your engine when you run it and don't realize they're in there. And then you have to deal with the smell that comes from them and like their weird like digging through your,
oh, they're
air filters
chewing.
to get into your car.
They're chewing through the wires. That's the big thing.
But I'm saying like
I have to gnaw.
that's the trade-off.
I have to gnaw because my teeth grow constantly and forever, and if I don't gnaw, it'll grow through my skull.
It's not their fault.
What's a stupid evolutionary trait?
Well, blame Mother Nature.
I do. I blame that bitch. How dare she?
Mother
create-
Nature and Father Time had a baby.
Well, Father Time obviously has been fighting Mother Nature on rats because he's trying to keep their lifespan short.
Oh, do you think they're divorced?
Were they ever together?
That's what I'm saying. I think they had a baby and they called it Earth.
It seems more like a dump. It's like Father Time cooked some bad food for Mother Earth, and she had constipation.
She shit something out.
And she shit out this hard rock. The solar system is just the product of her eating too much cheddar,
Cheddar. What about the dinosaurs?
blocking her up. What about the dinosaurs?
Did she mean to make those?
Did she make them? Are we saying that she made everything? Sure, I guess she made. Yeah, I guess.
They were all kinds of shit was happening before us.
I
We've only
underst-
been here for a second.
I understand that, but are you trying to imply that the dinosaurs were somehow a mistake?
No, I'm just saying we don't really think about the dinosaurs as part of like our history when we are on the same Earth that the dinosaurs were on.
It was their Earth first.
It really was, and for so long.
Well,
Like it's
there was some fishes. I mean, if we go way back, it was
oh yeah.
the single cell organisms. It was their Earth first.
Well, the fish came up and found some land. And they were like, "Fuck this! There's nothing up there." And then an atmosphere or something happened, and then they were like, "Oh, there's some plants up there. I'm gonna go lay my eggs up there." And then they were like, "I need some legs."
a lot of stuff that feels so important through the lens of the Earth. It's like, wow, look at this history, this varied, beautiful history with all this stuff that should have been 1 in a trillion chance. But in the scheme of things, like, who cares? In the scheme of the rest of the universe, it's like, shut up.
Fuck it.
You're such a small little piece of petrified poop from Mother Nature after she ate too much charcuterie.
Father Time's bad cooking.
Father Time.
Yeah, what's he do? He just like freaks people out with his time, and he's kind of he's kind of a like a trickster because it's like sometimes in lots of different ways. And like where it feels, oh, we've been together for 10 years, it feels like a day. Or even if you travel too fast in space, you're going to age, your time's going to be different.
Yeah, but I think cousin perception comes into play.
Cousin perception causing so much trouble.
Yeah, mayfly. Maybe that one day it's alive feels like an eternity. It is for that thing.
Yeah.
Maybe the seconds tick by and they feel like years.
It's said that, near the end of our universe, that there may be these short little bursts of life, but time will be so different by then because of, I don't know, like they're all of the stars being gone mostly, that their life will be like their one day or their one moment could be like billions of years, and it wouldn't be perceived the same way as ours.
We're all just creatures that are antenna. I feel like we're antenna. And the idea that nothing exists or it exists everywhere until something measures it, receives the signal and interprets it.
Yeah.
And so if you're a different antenna that is receiving the signal, you're going to interpret it differently. So sure, I can't speak to it any more than that because it gets too confusing and complicated.
Oh, there's this cool thing on TikTok that I saw where
I'm out.
It was this woman, and she had made a 2D drawing of a woman, like a girl, holding a box, and inside the box was
a cat,
some gems,
and the girl's name was
Schrodinger.
Schrodinger.
This is my cat, Schrodinger.
Schrodinger.
Schrodinger. But she was saying in her 2D world, and so she's like, I'm going to confuse the girl and take out the gems from the box. And the girl is not going to understand what happened to the gems because there's no way to open the box, I think, because it's a 2D universe, or maybe she never saw the box. I can't remember. I can't remember this concept, but it was interesting. Way to think about like our 3D world versus a 2D world and what's possible and taken as the absolute rule and law in your 2D world, and then in your 3D world you can do all these other things that you can't do in the 2D world, so it doesn't make sense at all in the 2D world. And then you can extrapolate that to a fourth dimension where like things could be happening to us that we have no way of understanding how it happened because we only live in our 3D space.
This is the problem with TikTok pop science. Is that it introduces complex ideas, which I guess you could argue that it's nice that this information is getting out to people who maybe normally wouldn't even think about it or know that it exists. But then it's presented and the person takes a little bit from it and says, well, I can't really remember what it was about, but it was really interesting and cool. And then they walk around and they start sharing that information and it's like a game of telephone and it gets all misconstrued. Like the therapists that are on TikTok. I know that there's good that comes from that and we've been moving away from the stigma associated with therapy for a long time anyway, but that's surely helped. It's like, all right, it's just becoming a commonplace thing where people go to therapy. It's nothing to be embarrassed about, but they go on and the way they talk and then everyone thinks that they're some kind of expert in psychology or even just grasping the basic notions. And then they take it and they use it and they force it. Like using it is fine. Implementing it into your life. I feel like when people get a little bit of the knowledge, though, then they start just using the terms, and then the internet is flooded with those terms, and it finds its way into real life, and you have to hear things. Everyone's got trauma suddenly in their lives. They're triggered by everything. There was a girl, and this is a true story, who wrote a play. She's the playwright, the theater I work at when I do sound design. She wrote a play. During rehearsals, one of the scenes that she wrote triggered her. It triggered her. She shut the whole production down for a bit and then started complaining to the management of the theater because I guess they're the ones that helped put it together. What the fuck?
She complained to the management of the theater about her own play?
Yeah, she was triggered. She was triggered and couldn't work in that kind of an environment. Over a scene that she wrote. And I guess it was maybe executed in a way that she didn't think it would be executed, and it stirred
Oh.
something.
Oh, I see. She wasn't involved in the production. She was just
She
the
was
playwright.
involved. She's involved. Playwrights have a lot of power. Like different. It's like movies. The writers like,
Yeah.
yeah, thanks. Get the fuck out of here. We're gonna rip this apart and change it.
I guess I'm so confused because it doesn't seem like someone who's so involved would be triggered because
Exactly.
they're involved. Wow, what an idiot.
And I know that's a stretch to tie that to the psychologist on TikTok, but I think these concepts being introduced, to me, it'd be great if I was watching something that I wrote and it moved me. Like I knew it was coming. I was still like, oh, Jesus, made me feel something uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. Isn't the point of art in certain ways to make you feel, think, even if it's not good?
The problem is not that she was triggered. She can be triggered all she wants, but then to place the blame elsewhere, and or to feel like there needs to be blame placed.
Yeah, why not just accept maybe you're not going to feel great all the time, and
Right.
it's kind of cool that you were able to get that feeling.
Right, from your own work. And then you might question, like, what am I, like a
So I blame.
overconfident? Like, I'm so great that my own work moved me. I must be a genius.
I blame TikTok. Like,
Well, it's a weird place for you to put your blame, but
I
okay.
blame TikTok. Also, what you were talking about. Maybe we are just a simulation, and you're a sim that has been forgotten, and that's why you lay around on the couch all day.
Ugh, you're right.
Because the person's gotten tired of making you shower and eat and do all your daily chores, so it's just
Not.
left you.
I had laundry to do. My laundry's piling up.
I think about that with any kind of simulation game, like SimCity. Obviously, you were playing it, which then I started playing it. Then I got into the mods, where I was making cities even better than you can make them with the game alone. And I wonder if the city just like what's that, if that's a real world because I created it, and the people are alive, and then you abandon it. What happens?
There was there's this. I can't remember what they're called, but it's like these sort of group writing projects. I think they're on Reddit, where people come up with these stories and they're taken as reality, but they're not reality. But sometimes they're picked up and people think that it's real until they do like a little bit of digging and they realize it's not. But anyway, so one of them is that it's like a bunch of people are at a football game and they're stuck in the stadium and they can't get out. And then they all start like dividing into little factions. And then they all sort of start to fight and go to war and they all die. And then they're all put right back into place wherever they started back in the stadium. And then, but they remember each event. They're not just like white. Their consciousness isn't just wiped. They're aware of each time it restarts. And so they keep trying to figure it out, but they keep all killing each other. And it just evolves into all these different ways of almost like a Groundhog Day, I guess, of figuring out how to work within this thing that they're trapped in. And sometimes they just watch the football game.
Where was this?
It's some writing project that's there are a bunch of them. There's there's another one about like this like thing that's alive in the ground near like in the desert or near like in the Southwest, and people find it and it's like a living creature, but it's within the ground and it's not like anything. It's something really, really strange. But like I said, sometimes there are all these people that contribute to the writing of this thing, and it's almost like they're creating their own folklore around it.
And this thing was called Tremors.
Yeah.
Released
It's not like that.
1990.
It's almost like a crack in the ground, and then sometimes like part of the being that's inside, like the creature that's inside it, like comes out, and then people poke it, and like they say that they find it, and they don't know what it is, and they say like it's nothing like I've seen before. I thought it was like a destroyed like deer carcass, but it turns out it was this. So, like I said, a bunch of people contribute to this sort of lore around it, and then every once in a while, it gets sort of posted on Facebook or Twitter as like, have you seen this? Like, this is so, and then, people who are in the know will sort of will also say like, yeah, my friend, like they'll add to the mystique and the mystery of it. And then if you just look into it a little bit, then you find out it's a fake thing, but it's part of that.
Like the fake Martin Scorsese movie.
What's that?
And it's a big thing that the internet just created a whole fake Martin Scorsese movie where somebody,
Really?
yeah, somebody, it's built on top of it. I forget what the original idea was, but somebody presented something about, I don't even know what it was about, but presented something, said, yeah, this forgotten Martin Scorsese film. And then people would create scenes and then somebody else would come in and say, no, you're misremembering that scene. It actually happened like this. And
Yes.
they built
It's just like that.
I know that people really like that community world building. No thanks.
I think it'd be fun. I feel like you would like it. Just how you sort of got into Reddit.
I don't. I can understand the appeal, but if I were the person who created a scene and I was feeling proud about that scene, and somebody else came in and said, "No, you're misremembering that. It happened like this," I wouldn't. Wouldn't be fun. I'd say, "Fuck you. Who do you think you are?" And usually, to me, those kind of things are more about proving yourself and that your ideas are better than the other ideas that have been presented than really working together. And I know that's an extreme thought, and it's somewhere in the middle, that there are some people who enjoy it and there's other people who come in and do that. But I have no patience for the people who come in. Usually they're the loudest, they're the most forceful, and I don't have the energy or time to fight them because ultimately the prize isn't worth it. It's like, what do I get out of this if I do fight you on this and win? My scene makes it into the fake Martin Scorsese film?
I think it's more of a communal experience where I don't think somebody comes in and says, no, you're misremembering. They could be like, and then this happened. Don't forget this, like this happened, like adding to it and not just totally wiping out what you just said.
So you view it as a glass half full.
Well, that's kind of the point of our show a little bit sometimes.
Is it the point? Is that the dynamic that drives this show?
Yes.
Isn't
it?
I like, even at work when you have meetings, there's always those people. It's like, I'm going to talk and here are my ideas and I'm speaking and I'm the more forceful one. And I just don't say anything. It's not that I don't care. I have ideas, but I've written my bosses afterwards. And it's like, I know I didn't say anything in that meeting. It's not because I wasn't engaged. I don't feel the need to fight that dynamic.
There is that. Like there were always people in class that would raise their hand to ask some question just to sort of show that they knew what they were saying. You're like, all right, we see you.
Yeah. If you want my,
isn't it true that when this happens, this is the result? Yes, it is. Thank you.
If you want my thoughts, I'm here. Reach out. I'll tell you then. Otherwise, good luck. A lot of times those meetings too, we need the idea. You want a good idea? Give it a few days. Especially for people like me. It's like, I'll think about that and tomorrow morning I'll have an idea. I'm not good at the spot usually, on the spot. But you have a meeting. It's like, great. These are our ideas. Like, okay, Go ahead. Run along. Prove that you've done something. We got the idea. Yeah, good. It's all about short-term gains. Keeping your job in the moment. Instead of
I don't like any of that. I just don't like people being fake, which is not anything new. People don't like that. But there's someone I work with now that will bring things up and say, like he wants to pool tips at the, we don't really do that, but we can, and it's like, so pooling tips. What do you think? What do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know.
I'd say no. I'd say no. That's the person who's going to break down every hour and every minute and down to the cent. This is how it needs to be divided. And my take is $68.34.
Well, I told him, I was like, I really don't know. I said, how about at the end, if it's advantageous for both of us to do it, then okay. But
how's it going to be advantageous for both? There's going to be someone who made more and someone who made less.
Yeah, I don't know.
And somebody,
I don't want to do it because I don't want to think about it. I just want to make my own money and be like a little disappointed, but also ultimately whatever. It's extra money. I don't give a shit. Versus like anything. I don't care. But the point is that he wanted to split tips. There's no reason to bring this up. You want to do it. So because he'll say things like, "It's up to you. It's totally up to you. It's up to you." I was like, "But you're bringing this to me. So what you're really doing is you want to do it, but now you're putting it on me like it's my decision to make." And it's like, I never asked to be put in this decision. I don't. So I would just say like, no.
If it's not the protocol, then don't do it. I wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. I know that.
Well, now he's a manager.
Oh, so yeah, now he's gonna get his revenge. Remember that time I asked to pool tips and you said no? Well, here's my wrath. Suffer, wench.
I'm sad that he's our manager.
Suffer my hand, you wench. Wench is not even an insult. It sounds like an insult.
Also, like last night, he was trying to help me, and I had put glasses and a wine bucket by the table already, and I was just waiting for the bar to like give me the bottle, and I was in the back chatting or whatever, and he came back with an ice bucket, and I was like, "Oh, is that for my table 23?" And he said, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh, is my wine?" I was like, "I already got it." He's like, "Oh, okay. I mean, if you want me to run, I mean, I'll run it. Like, you want me to run it?" I was like, "No, I just didn't know the bottle was there. Like, don't help me. I don't want help."
Well, if you weren't chatting in the back, you old stupid lady who's working a job that you shouldn't be working at this age, then fine.
Yeah.
You don't need.
But I was
help.
waiting for the bottle. I had just looked and the bottle wasn't there, so it must have just gotten there right when I wasn't back there for like 20 minutes. I was back there for like nope, like a minute, 2 minutes.
How old is this goon?
I'm not sure. He is always telling you about how he has like he's telling you a lot about like women.
Spit it out.
Life. What I'm trying to say is that he seems very gay. However, continues to tell you stories about how he's not gay.
Oh, all right. That's a path I don't feel a need to explore.
Well, it's just odd. You know, it's just something's your spidey senses,
We're going to go down it anyway.
Well, I just want to finish my thought, I guess.
Okay.
And I don't love feeling this way, but I have trouble not expressing when something feels off, you know? And something's off. Something's wrong. There's some untruths. And I don't know him well enough.
How does that tie into the bigger story?
I don't remember.
I think that's when I was like, I don't see how this really fits. So yeah, the Nintendo Switch you bought.
Yeah, I'm playing Vice City. I'm almost done with it.
Now that you're in the big time, making buku bucks.
Oh, I couldn't really, truly afford it. I just did it because I kept looking at the price, and I kept putting it in my cart, you know, like anywhere online that I was looking, and I was just not buying it. And I just knew it was just there. I was like, oh, I really want it. Just buy it. So I just did it. So I splurged, but I still have to pay it off still.
How many payments? Did you use
Klarna? I don't have payments. I just put it on my. No, I didn't do that. That's like a little loan. I just put on a credit card that I'll pay off.
Yeah, I did one of those loans. I do them if they're interest only.
Oh, right.
The idea is, I know that
you mean without interest.
Yeah, without interest. Sorry, I was thinking about the time I bought a house, and that was interest only. That was, I guess, yes, what a stupid loan to sign for. But I did when I wanted a house when I was 24 years old. And I was like, interest only. That's great. That'll get me this house. Yeah, well, just do it. Do it.
I get it. You want something. They're telling you this is the best way. It's easier. It's cheaper. Like, okay.
Yeah, so that lives in my head. Interest free, yes.
Yeah.
Interest free. And people say, why are you getting things if you can't afford them outright? It's like, I can afford the $1,200 outright, but I like the idea of breaking it up over a year and just paying $120 a month with no interest. If there's no interest, it doesn't matter.
Right.
Sure, it's now $120 every month that I have to pay, but it's set to auto payment and it just happens. And the truth is, either way, you spend the $1,200, and once it's spent, and you don't think about it again.
Right. It's fine. It's whatever works for you. It's fine. So I bought a Switch. I instantly got the 3-pack.
Mario Party?
No, I don't have Mario. Those are too expensive. They're all like $60.
What's the one where he throws his hat? Super Mario Universe?
That's World.
That's World.
Yeah.
His hat turns inanimate objects alive.
It's cute. I played that with the kids.
When did they
And,
add this though? What is this new thing that they add? When does hat become magical? Why is it a magical hat?
It's not really a hat that's magical. It's something else that's like gotten into the hat. Being used. The vessel is the hat.
Oh, a parasite.
Yes.
And then he can throw it and become a T-Rex or something.
Yeah.
I mean, look, maybe that game's fun. I used to love Super Mario. And at some point, it just fell off for me. It's like, I think Nintendo felt too much like Disney. It's like, there's value here, but it's also, I don't know. I'm an adult now.
I'm a big boy.
I want adult-themed games.
I want a gun.
Bye, Mario. Though I still enjoy Sonic. And speaking of the Switch, Christina was playing like Sonic the Hedgehog 2, which I found to be very difficult to play on the Switch. The controllers are flimsy. And the Switch that I bought, I dropped it by accident, like a week after I got it. And now the right hand controller doesn't lock in so well.
Oh, bummer. Is it because of the part on the Switch itself or on the controller?
I was looking at the locking mechanism, but I can't figure it out. I mean, it holds enough that you can play it and it's not sliding off, but just a little extra force. Like you don't have to press the button to release it. It'll just slide up on its own. And that's just a little aside. But all right, what did you play in Zelda? Call in the Wind? Fart in the Wind? What's that one?
Nope, I don't have that one.
People love that too. They say it's beautiful.
Yeah, my friend really likes that. He like Call of the Wild or something.
Yeah.
Breath of the Wind. Yeah, I'm playing Vice City.
Oh yeah, you said that.
I love it so much, and I'm so much better at it.
I think.
Than when I played it at your house in 2002.
You're getting the full experience. Also, what's Nintendo doing? They've opened up the doors and they allow ports of different games, huh?
Yeah.
All the adult themes are there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm murdering people on accident, running people over and like leaving a blood like skid mark. That's crazy. The kids are watching me play it, which is troubling. But they want me to like murder people and just like run people over on purpose. I'm like, no, they're just trying to get to work.
So then when are you going to let them play that?
Well, they kind of do a little bit. They just drive around.
They just drive around and trash things.
Yeah. So I tried to start a new game for Ellie so that she could just like fuck around on it. And I accidentally deleted my game. I was like halfway through. So I had to start over. I was like, fuck.
It's been so long since I played that one. I mean, it obviously is a game that people hold a special place in their hearts.
Well, the music is so good. It's just the
80s music. That's what's funny about it. And that came out in what year? 2002?
I think.
So when Vice City came out, somewhere around there.
Yeah.
In the 80s then seems so far. I think of like, remember Star 94 used to have Friday Night 80s?
Oh, yeah.
And it's like 1997. I'm in high school in the car on a weekend night, a Friday night with my friend who can drive. It's like, yeah, putting on the old music. I love 80s music. Can you believe it's so old?
Well, they had disco, I think, on Fridays on Fox 97.
It's strange to think that it really did seem so long ago.
Yeah.
Like 80s music. And I guess I was a child. The thought of riding around in a car on my own with a friend, that means I surely am grown up now. And so this music tied to my childhood, which was a long, long time ago. I get why it kind of felt that way, but it is funny to think that, some of these songs, if you go back to the early 80s, sure, some are like 15 years old, but there are others that, this thing came out 7 years ago, this song.
Right.
It's not that fucking old. And then 2002, not much further away, but now playing it now. And this is a different thing than just Vice City, and going to bars and watching people in their early 20s put on 80s music and the way they speak about it. Like, it really is fucking old to them. And why shouldn't it be? Considering you could be born in 2002 now. This year, people born in 2002 will be able to drink.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild. So
That's
anyway,
father time fucking with everybody.
so I could see something like Vice City, people discovering it, playing an old video game, but with this
Wow.
old music, thinking of the people who played it the first time, like it was maybe representative of the day and age.
Right. And for us, we're having the same experience.
It was already a nostalgia trip. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I love it. I'm really so much better at it. I love riding around. I love doing the missions and figuring it out and doing it.
Well, I think the new one, whenever the fuck that comes out, it's supposed to be a return to Vice City.
So I want to go through San Andreas or whatever. Is that what it's called?
The next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do that one.
And then there's.
But I think I've done most of the missions. I still have to buy pole position, and I think I have to go through some missions from there. Like I don't have all of the property missions finished, but I've a lot of the rest of them. You know, like the ones where you have to go to like the businesses and finish those missions.
yeah.
I've done all those.
What's the one where you had to fly the toy plane around? I hated those.
See, I also remember I that one was not that hard. And then the one with I did a toy. Oh, it was a helicopter. I'd put bombs in the building. And then an airplane, like a miniature airplane, that one was hard. But you didn't have to. So the mission is like you have to bomb these boats. And when you fly over near them, they're like, they see you or something and then they run away. But all you have to do is like run into them with your little toy RC airplane and it kills them. And so they don't take the boats out and then you just bomb the boats.
Well, if I ever play it again, it'll have to be on the Switch that I bought, and the only other game I ever bought for my Switch was Mario Kart, and I still pay $4 a month to be connected online so I can race other people, even though I haven't played it in months. So I spent with the game and the Switch itself, like $360, $70 just to play fucking Mario Kart.
And that's it. You didn't download anything else?
There's a few other games that I've played, but it's pretty crazy that I bought that thing and I don't play it. But me, if they've got Vice City on there because my PlayStation 2 is long gone because I took it to my old workplace thinking we'll set this up and play in the back, and then I was laid off and I never retrieved it.
What's nice is that, do you remember how long in between the scenes and stuff it would take for it to load on the PS2? Now it's like, bam, shablam, no waiting.
Yeah, I guess the amount of information at the time was like, this is huge. This is a lot of information. Like you had a fucking Nintendo 8-bit cartridge and then 16. Right. It's like, oh my God, that's so much. And now it's like, I couldn't even put the first graphic and the first note of the music onto that thing. These things take up so much. But obviously as storage grows, it doesn't matter. So something like Vice City at the time, yeah. I wonder how large the data was, and they had to find its spot on the CD and hear all the clicking going on inside of the console.
Well, it's awesome. You should download it and play it.
It's crazy to me that like they used to churn these things out. There was Grand Theft Auto 3.
Yeah.
Like, did you ever see the first Grand Theft Autos? They were these.
Yeah, it's from above, right?
Yeah, overhead. And it was funny that I didn't know these existed. It's not really that funny, but as a middle schooler, it feels. I say funny. It's like you find something out. Like something exists and you had no clue, and it was an idea you had, and you're like, that's cool. But I used to play those Sierra adventure games, and one of them was Police Quest, and I've talked about this before. And I was talking to my friends, like, wouldn't it be cool if there was a game where you were the criminal and like you would steal cars and you would run around and rob stores? Like, yeah. And then you find out that there are these Grand Theft Auto games.
Yeah.
And I never played them, and I didn't play it until that the third one came out, which was the one that adopted the style that we have now. But he was in Liberty City. He didn't speak. Remember that one? Did you ever play that one?
No, I never played it. The first one I played was Vice City.
The guy you played never spoke. But how are the graphics, like the cutscenes? Like when they open their mouths, is it just a void? It's like. I
don't even know if they open their mouths.
I mean, they talk.
I know, but I honestly don't pay attention, and I usually skip those scenes.
That's the story. You need the story.
I don't give a shit about the story. I just want to play.
So that Grand Theft Auto 3 was 2001, and then a year later was Vice City. And then
There's a documentary about Rockstar Games and how it all started. Have you seen that?
And how they abuse their employees.
Oh no, I didn't see that part.
No, I haven't seen that. Then there was San Andreas in 2004.
Uh-huh.
And then what
And that was
it?
really different because like you could work him out, right? And he could get strong or something.
Yeah, and then there was a much bigger map with 3 different cities. So that was cool.
Oh, okay.
You could travel in between. And then the one that was set in what is New York, I guess it was back to Liberty City, but it's supposed to be like New York. I never played that one.
Yeah,
I think that was just 4. Wait. Yeah. Because we're only on 5. Because of the weird ones in between. I know that it doesn't matter so much. The point I'm making is they churned these out, then they just stopped. And it's like been 10 years since the last one. But there's been all the online play that continues to make them a shitload of money. So I guess there's no need to churn them out like they used to. It was the same thing with Red Dead Redemption. It's like, yeah, it's been a very long time. And if you're looking forward to the next one, good luck. You'll probably be close to death by the time we release it.
I don't know if I need another one. You know, I'll just play something else. But you know, it did make me think I should try Red Dead Redemption again because maybe I would be okay with it now. Like maybe I'd be better at it.
I mean, it's still so different than Grand Theft Auto. Just a much,
I mean, I know it's different, but I just mean the controls. I had so much trouble with the control.
It's a much slower game. Really beautiful.
Maybe I wouldn't like that.
Maybe it's very beautiful. You ride your horse around. You feed it. You camp. You interact with the strangers. You could teach your
I
kids.
probably would just skip all that stuff.
Yeah, and I don't understand what you're doing.
I don't really care. I'm trying to play. I'm not trying to hear a story.
You know, that's what made The Last of Us a wonderful TV series. I say that.
I hear that that's good.
I mean, it's only 2 episodes in, so I say that. It's wonderful, 2 episodes in.
When you think about a movie that or a show that was started as a video game, you don't think too much is going to come of it. You think it's going to be crap.
No, it's usually shit. Or like Max Payne. Those were good video games. I enjoyed those. And the movie, it's like, what the fuck was that?
Max Payne?
Yeah, Max Payne. That was a good game. It was about like a cop whose family was murdered and he was on the verge of suicide.
Oh, that's a Rockstar game.
Yeah, Max Payne was a good series, and
maybe I'll play that.
I think the movie probably killed it. It's like, it's soured now.
Yeah,
because of that dumbass movie. Even Mortal Kombat, which I know people enjoy those movies, and not there was a plot to Mortal Kombat, but you know, it's like, okay, we're gonna use these characters and write a story. But with The Last of Us, it's interesting to play a game where the story was revered, and it really was a good story and moving even. And, you know, like lines are lifted directly from the game, put into the TV show. It's like, all right, so that's decent writing if they don't feel a need to change it. Mm-hmm. It's like this was verbatim from the video game. People were kind of pissed with the casting at first. Like, that's not what they look like.
People are funny.
That's not Ellie.
Hey.
It's not what she looks like.
What's that one where everything looks like what is that aesthetic called where like people have like futuristic things but they're also like antiquated with like goggles and clocks?
Like steampunk?
Yes, there was like a steampunk game where like you were in the sewers or something with a girl.
Sewer Shark?
No, I don't think it's that.
Dog meat.
Steampunk
Beach
game.
bum. Those were your different call signs in Sewer Shark.
BioShock.
Oh, BioShock.
People loved BioShock.
They did. I never played it. There's too many games. I don't even know where to begin, what to choose.
Well, go download the Grand Theft Auto trilogy. You'll get 3, Vice City, and San Andreas.
All right, I'll look. I'll take a look.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I wonder if they have Command and Conquer. Silos full.
What is Command and Conquer?
That was a game I liked to play. It was a computer game. That's all.
Okay.
It's with my talk on Command and Conquer. That's all I have to say.
They don't have it.
Oh, fuck them. It's hard to find. You can get it for PC.
Yeah.
Of course, I have a Mac because that's what I use for work, and so many games haven't been ported for Mac. It's not a gaming machine, which is fine. Whatever. There should be
I
a
can't
version.
download anything on my work computer. It stops me and asks me for an administrator password. You fucking assholes! I don't have it.
Yeah, they're also looking at everything you do on it.
I don't care.
They can
Look away.
tap into it at any given moment. Like, interesting. That's what you got going on.
That's fine. They see me playing Doom.
It's just funny you don't have your own computer.
I know. I bought a Switch instead.
Hey, you're lucky to get a Switch. I think they're still difficult to find. The PlayStation 5, from what I know, is still very difficult to buy.
No, the Switch isn't hard to buy anymore.
Oh, what? It's run its course. So now, as soon as you buy one, they're going to come up with something new.
Well, I bought the new one, so I don't think so. I thought about buying the previous one, but I just liked that it was black and white instead of those blue and red. I thought those were ugly.
I agree. I don't really like that color scheme. That's the one I have.
Yeah.
I'm looking at this.
Like-
It says, pick up today from GameStop. PlayStation 5. Get God of War. No thanks. I didn't like the last God of War. I don't. Again, you had your son tagging along. Daddy, Papa, teach me, Papa. And now he's a little bit older, but he tags along again. I don't have any interest. He's become a excellent marksman. Look at him standing there with his bow and arrow. Don't mess with us, the God of War, Ragnarok.
It's funny that it was GameStop because I feel like GameStops are, close to death.
Oh, they were
Physical
saved.
GameStops? Get out of here.
They were saved
Who?
by the apes.
That was short-lived.
No, they're still.
It's done.
No, it's not done.
Oh, it's done.
People are still millions of dollars to be made.
Okay, but the physical stores.
Man, I know people. Like, obviously, we both bought AMC stock. And I got greedy and held on to it for too long. At some point, I could have made like $20,000.
Really?
Yeah, and I was like, nope.
That much?
No, I never believed it was going to go up. I think we could do a whole episode.
Yeah, but you
on
thought it
this.
would go higher, maybe.
I thought I'd get like 100. I should have not been so greedy and just sold it when it was 60 something. But it's like, no, it's going to get to 100. And I like the idea of sticking it to the hedge fund. So that was a different part of it. This idea that they need these shares because they're shorting this, and if they can't get shares, they can't short it. And then when they continue to short it, it's because they're naked shorting it. They don't even have the shares.
Yeah.
And I do believe that stuff's existing. But you come to realize, like, you're not going to stop that. It's like, who the fuck do you think you are? We're a giant fucking money-making machine, and we're going to do what we want. So we want to destroy you, we're going to destroy you. There's a lot of...
when it turned into... the only way for them to be stopped was to sort of break the entire stock exchange. Like, it would bring everything to a halt and everyone would be dead. So yeah, they were going to protect the game.
It's gonna moon, and we're gonna make, each. I'm not selling until each share is $1 million. Like, that's...
Yeah.
I never believed that was gonna happen, but I did get too greedy. And instead of making that money, I didn't. And then, I went in the red. So be it. Because I didn't invest more than I felt comfortable investing. Like, I know people. I know one person. And you can read online about other people, but I know one person. Like, they invested so fucking much. They lost so much money. And there's still people out there. If you go to the subreddits,
They're still trying.
They still talk about it. It's like, well, it's changed a bit, but still this can happen. And not that I don't believe it could go back up some if they can stir enough excitement around it again and enough people, go up, then it'll go back down. But I think there's some people who have to believe like that to preserve because it's like they've
They
just
can't give up now. Well, it's the sunk cost fallacy.
they've just put so much money into it. It blows my mind. And maybe some of these people are rich, but I don't know. You know, people post their it's not earnings, it's loss porn at this point.
Um,
That was
so sad.
that was a big thing in Wall Street bets. Like, here's my loss porn. I lost $463,000.
Right. That's pretty amazing.
But I mean, I have to assume some of those people are rich, but there are people who's like, everything I had, I invested in it. And I really believed. So, you know, GameStop's still around though. There are enough people holding on to it that I don't think, at least because of market forces, they can go bankrupt. They can just file for bankruptcy because I don't know how much money they're actually making these days. Same with AMC. I do still feel like there's a need for movie theaters, but they're starting to close left and right.
Yeah.
In New York too. It's like, oh yeah, that one. I used to like going to that one, but I didn't go to it, so that's why it's closing. It was like Bowtie Cinemas. I was like, oh, I like that place. It's not tied to any. Then it became like Cineopolis, so it was changing ownership. And maybe at that point it was owned by a bigger company, but it still felt like a standalone theater. It wasn't an AMC or a Regal. I was like, yeah, I like going there, but I didn't, so it's gone.
I'd rather just stay home and watch a movie.
It's not the same.
I know. I don't get the same thing. I feel like I am just, well, I don't know. I just don't care. I can watch it at home.
It's not the same. I like going to a theater. But I also think it's totally worth for me because I can go having the unlimited pass with Regal. So
I eat popcorn and then I kind of feel sick after.
I don't eat popcorn because it's disgusting and it does make you feel sick. You're right.
Yeah. But I want it when I'm there. I'm like, oh,
I don't. I never want it. Rarely do I want it. And then I take a few handfuls. Like, I don't want this. Why did I buy this?
I know. And I kind of want snow caps.
Yeah. Then you go buy them and sneak them in.
Yeah. But then I eat too many. And then you come out with a pimple. I feel like every time I've been in a movie, I come out with a pimple.
I don't know what that is. That's a lie. It's a fake made up thing. See, I guess
that and air travel. Zit fest.
Living in New York, because there's always a store nearby, even if it's just a bodega. You just stop in before you go to the theater and you grab candy. But if there's a Dwayne Reed or something, they have the section. It's like movie candy.
Yeah.
$1. It's like, okay, I'm gonna buy these boxes and just go into the theater. But I like going to the theater, and with the unlimited thing, you know, for me it makes sense. I guess if I was paying $20 a fucking ticket these days and I wanted to see 3 movies a month, would it be worth $60? Maybe not. But you pay $23 and go as many times as you want. That's fine. It's nice. And the theaters are comfortable. They've modded them all.
They are comfortable now.
They recline. If you're going to go watch fucking Avatar for 3 hours and 20 minutes, you need maybe it's 340. I forget what it is. You need a recliner.
Isn't Puss in Boots beating Avatar?
Not overall, is it?
Are you sure?
Yeah. Avatar, I think, got to $2 billion. I can't say for sure. Puss in Boots, runtime of hour 37. That's nice. Avatar 2 runtime is, here's my computer, 3 hours and 12 fucking minutes.
Oh, maybe it's just the like tomato whatever.
No, the tomato meter.
Yeah, so 98% audience score for Puss in Boots and 97% tomato meter on Puss in Boots. What's the tomato meter mean? Does that mean like it got tomatoes? Is that bad though? You throw tomatoes at things you don't like.
Yeah, but they're fresh. They're splatted when it's not good.
Oh, okay.
If it's a whole tomato, it's good. If it's splatted, it's bad.
Oh, well, it's a whole tomato. And then Avatar has 78% versus Puss in Boots 97% and 93% audience versus 98.
Yeah, and Puss in Boots is also, I think, made $550 million worldwide. It's pretty good.
My kids saw it.
They love it.
Yeah.
Puss in Boots.
Ellie wanted me to buy it to rent it for $20 something, even though she'd already seen it. She's like, it's only $20. I was like, get the fuck out of here. I'm not renting that. Well, wait.
Yeah, when does it go down in price? When it's not in the theater anymore?
Probably when it's not in theaters. Speaking of that, I want to watch Maverick too.
I wonder if you'd like it. You didn't like the first one.
I didn't watch it as a child. So I didn't get the experience. Just like if I saw Dirty Dancing now, I don't know if I would love it as much, but I fucking love Dirty Dancing because I loved it as a kid.
You don't need to watch the first Top Gun to watch the second one, but I think the second one would be a little more moving if you watch the first one and weren't
maybe I
familiar.
won't care.
Oh, yeah, you don't like stuff like that. I don't give a shit. I don't like the story.
No, I'm saying
I don't play video games for the story. I just want to play the game. I skip all the
No, a
cutscenes.
movie, I'm there for the story.
With Top Gun, I don't want the story.
A game, I am there to play.
I don't want the story to be as moving as it could be, so I don't give a shit about that.
Well, what are you saying? I need to watch Vice City for the plot?
Yeah, it's fun to watch Vercetti run around.
Well, I kind of know what's happening. He's out of jail. He's trying to make some money. He's trying to make his way. I got him a mansion. He's fine. I got it.
They sent him to Vice
He has
City.
the movie. I bought the movie studio. I bought the ice cream thing. He's good.
Just like they sent Sylvester Stallone to Tulsa, Oklahoma, where he's now the Tulsa King. Did you watch that series?
No, what is that? Oh, is that the one where he has like the wife that's too young for him?
No, he doesn't have a wife. He has sex with someone who's way too young for him.
Oh, okay. But his face is like melting off or something.
He's like 78 years old or something. 75, I forget. He's still doing it. The Tulsa
bless.
King. A ragtag group of ne'er-do-wells is the new mafia in Tulsa.
Did you read that or is that what you're just saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay.
I was watching it. Like I turned it on one night. I had no real interest, but enough curiosity. I was like, oh, Stallone, I'm curious. And then I just kind of left it on. Like, is it great? But it was fun. It's a fun, goofy show to watch. That old people.
I tried to start watching The New Girl and I got like 5 minutes into the pilot and I'm like,
oh, damn. You're going to piss people off with that comment.
I love it. I thought this is so lame. I probably need to give it more time.
Pissing people off.
All right, everybody. Sorry for pissing you off. Still listen. Still subscribe. Still like us.